And we're back.
Anyway, guys, we're back with another video.
All right.
So in this one, we're gonna just go over, you know, from the time she was born, our whole experience in the hospital. From the time she was born, they put her in the NICU, which is the neonatal intensive care unit. All right. They brought her into. She had her own little room. All the babies in Sunnybrook get their own little spot, right? And the families get like a little dongle that you can swipe in. And
what? It's a fob.
A fob. They get a little fob that you can swipe in and go about your business. Anyway, yeah, so there's no visiting hours for the NICU that you can just come, family can come whenever pretty much.
Stay overnight, like
yeah.
People actually, most mothers really stayed overnight, like live there pretty much. I couldn't do that just for my own sanity.
But that first day after Nyla was born, Chanel was still upstairs. She was still admitted. They don't let you go instantly. And they wanted her to still be on a little bed rest, like take it easy going to go visit Nyla. So, you know, you get to see the other families in there. That's what I like, the way they had it set up. You got to see other families, meet with other people, talk with other people, get to know their story, your story. It's nice because it helps. Like at first we were really stressing, you know. We didn't really understand what was really happening and what we could expect with Nyla, but talking with other couples, literally every single time, I don't know how she felt, but every time that...
So why don't you ask me?
You're gonna say your piece.
Okay.
They want to know, you know.
Okay.
Every time that we spoke with another couple, I felt a little better because I would ask certain questions for what's playing on my mind, you know, like, oh, what you guys, oh, you been here for 3 weeks? Oh, how did that go? How's your baby progressing? Like, those kind of stuff made me feel better every time. And it was pretty much every day. Cause every time we saw somebody, I would just be like, yo, talk to me.
No, he was not like that, but he was very like open to hear other people's story and talk to people. Like overall, he's a very people person, so he didn't have no trouble in that department of talking to somebody. But when it came to me, I did not really want, not that I didn't want to talk to people, but I know like other people had certain situations that were either better than mine or worse. So like it was hard for me to want to just randomly open up, because there was a family that we met that just randomly like opened up to us. To me, I could never do that.
That family she's talking about, by the way, we walked in. We'd been there for, I believe it was a week. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Something like that. We had been there for a little while, so we knew the ins and outs of the hospital already. And yeah, and we went in there and it's a whole big family. The father was like, hey, how's it going? Like, yo, as soon as he was like that, I already knew what he was on, you know? And then he was like, yo, we good, what's up, you good? And then he's like, yeah, we're just in here, man, this whole stressful thing, blah, blah, and he just literally just laid it all out. This dude didn't have on shoes. He didn't know left from right. He didn't know where his phone was, wallet, nothing.
Wait, he didn't even know his daughter's name.
Yeah, we asked and he didn't remember. He's like, what? I'm drawing a full blank here. Yo,
it's like,
it was crazy.
There was also groups, like mom's groups and dad's groups that we could join and just literally talk. But normally we never got there on the times that they had those meetings. And at the end of the day, I really just wanted to go in there, see my child, do what I have to do for my child that I could do, and just relax, because I was still recovering and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't really want to be doing too much.
Anyway. So yeah, there was that side, and then there was the whole, you know, the medical side. So Nyla was hooked up to a bunch of stuff. She had a feeding tube in her mouth. When she was born, she couldn't breathe instantly. But once they put that, what was it called again?
CPAP?
CPAP on her face, she was breathing on her own. So CPAP, it gives you pressure, like air pressure. So it kind of expands your lungs for you. It makes you breathe, so to speak. Like almost every day, they would be having to lower the pressure because she's getting stronger and stronger that quickly. They had a tube right where her umbilical cord was, like straight directly into her stomach.
They were for drawing blood. That was the easiest place they could draw blood because she was so small. And then when she got bigger, they started drawing blood from her heel. They also took her blood pressure regularly and her temperature regularly. What else? They had oxygen level sensor wrapped on her foot.
Which she hated.
Yeah, she would kick that off all the time. And she hated the CPAP too. It's like this big contraption that was on her nose. And it went over her head. It was like a huge like helmet looking thing. What else did she have? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Well, she had jaundice.
Oh, yeah.
Like all babies do when they're born.
For her jaundice, she was under blue light for phototherapy. And that helped lower the jaundice levels, I guess. The yellow pigment in their skin and in their eyes. Feeding, she was drinking breast milk. No, she was not on my breast. She had the feeding tube, just like Daddy said. The feeding tube, at first, they had it in her mouth, and it goes straight to her stomach. And then they switched it and put it in her nose, and it goes straight to her stomach. So the food was in like a syringe, the breast milk. So I had to pump every 2 hours, which was hell. She started eating and growing fat. My midwives were coming to see me at home. It's quite different now since my baby was premature. I didn't get the same treatment as a term baby when it came to midwives. It's unfortunate that I didn't get that opportunity, but otherwise the midwives were great in the time that I did have them, and they did come and check up on me twice postpartum. Which was great. Yes, I was going through postpartum depression. It was weird in the sense that I would cry for no reason at all.
Yep.
And I knew I was crying for no reason. And I just couldn't stop it. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing at my sadness? Anyways, he was like upset that I was crying.
I was getting annoyed. Like, what are you crying about?
And I was trying to tell him, like, I'm fine, right? I don't know why I'm crying, so just leave me alone. I'm fine.
But don't lie. I would understand after a while, okay?
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would. Stop lying.
I'm not lying.
So I was like, yeah, stop being a whack.
Yeah!
For the whole time.
Okay, he would comfort me after questioning me 1,000 times. What's wrong? Did you have any depression? Because apparently dads can get postpartum depression.
Nope.
No?
No, I was just always tired.
I just want this whole thing to be over. So the criteria for this lovely lady to get out of that hospital, she was off the CPAP, obviously breathing on her own from when she was born. Her weight was excellent. She was growing very well. So they were ready to transfer us to another hospital. So we had the choice on what hospital we wanted to go to. Our first choice was Markham Stouffville, but unfortunately they were just taking way too long on I guess having a bed available. So they did give us another option, and the option was Scarborough Centenary Hospital. The day we got transferred, it was a random day, and we just regular day for us going into the hospital seeing our baby girl. And they told us, you know, you guys should consider Scarborough. So we gave it a chance and told them they can call them. Everything was pretty much set, and they were transferring us, well, transferring her that night. The same nurse that was taking care of her that night came in the ambulance with her. We took the car and drove to Scarborough and met them there. The way their Scarborough Centenary Hospital's NICU is set up, it is very, very, very different. So at Sunnybrook, we had the fobs to enter. We had to ring a doorbell and somebody had to answer. At Scarborough, somebody had to answer and let us in. And then if we wanted to leave, they had to open the door for us, unlock the door, whatever it was.
I mean, they were pretty good with it. It was, you know, just every now and then that somebody wouldn't be behind the desk and you'd just be out there ringing the goddamn doorbell.
Look at this smirk. She had a little smirk. Yeah,
but that's what was also unfortunate about moving from Sunnybrook too, is that, you know, we had a lot of our friends coming, staying with us, and family coming and staying with us for a little while every couple nights. And moving to Scarborough, it wasn't like that anymore, you know. Everybody was too far away, right? So now this, I think what we said.
And the rules were strict. They had times for visitors, not family. The mother and the father of the baby can stay all night if they want to, but any other visitors weren't allowed to stay at a certain time. Also, kids weren't allowed to come.
Under 12.
And unless they were your kids, their family room in Sunnybrook. Sunnybrook's family room was 24/7. At Scarborough Centenary, their family room was really, it was like 9 o'clock till 9, but sometimes it closed earlier or didn't open at all because it was
volunteer, right?
Yeah. Which sucked because that family room, like the family rooms in general, helped the parents just have that time to eat, you know, get a break, sleep. The nurses.
Well, the nurses.
Privacy-wise.
What do you mean privacy, right?
Like there's no privacy since we're just all covered in curtains.
Yeah, you can hear everything.
You can hear everybody's business. Yeah, we knew when a baby was having more complications than normal. It kind of sucked because it's like, I don't really care to hear other people's business. And I really don't want people hearing my business. Daddy would drop me off at work. So that's early in the morning. And I would be there from like 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening, because I would wait till he's finished work. He'll come see us and spend time with his baby girl, and then we would go home. So when I was there, I was very friendly with all the nurses, talked to most of them. It was, they knew me every time I came early, when I was leaving. Yeah, it was, they were awesome.
It's pretty much like one of them scenes in the movies where you're walking in and everybody's like, hey, what up? Yo, what up? How's everything? Good? Yeah. Yo, how's the wife? It was like one of those.
So the criteria for this hospital for her to finally go home was she had to be gaining, you know, still gaining weight, and she had to be able to maintain her temperature, and also she had to be feeding orally. After those three, she can go home. She was already of weight and already maintaining her temperature. So it was really just her feeding orally, and they weren't gonna push it. She is awesome. They always tell me how awesome she is every time I come in. It was always spontaneous every time I entered the hospital about what was going on with her. Every day was something new. I remember the day that I came in and she wasn't in an incubator anymore. They had her in like a little cot, and I was so happy.
Yeah, because everything has been happening so fast. Like they'd tell us, okay, at this and this weeks, which would be like 3 weeks or 2 weeks from when she was supposed to be doing certain stuff, they'll tell us this is what to look forward and expect. Then in the next 2-3 days, boom, she's doing it. And then she's doing it consistently, like not even a one-off. And it's like, okay, baby girl out here, a superstar.
Yeah, so then the day I walked in and they told me that, you know, we're gonna start the discharge process, I was like, already? Because she started feeding orally and she was doing great. I think one morning I came in and the night nurse was like, yeah, I fed her on a bottle and she did great. I'm like, what?
For the whole night, she fed her on a bottle.
I was like, no, but the first time she was on a bottle, I'm talking about. But then that time where they chose to do the discharge process, yeah, they said that she was drinking a bottle through the whole night. And I was like, oh my God.
And they were making it sound like that would be next week.
Yeah, they made it sound like we were going to be here for pretty much the term. Definitely
our friends and family hooked us up a lot. We had a lot of stuff ready, but we didn't have everything ready. And yeah, they decided, yo, we're going to put her up. She's going to be going home soon. Do that little I don't call it experiment. It's like a test to see if mommy can handle the baby. Baby's drinking everything, and mommy can change the diaper and all that while nobody's supervising her.
Oh, you're talking about the discharge stuff. Okay.
They just like by that came, I had to just.
By that came.
By the time that came, we didn't have everything fully ready. There were just a few little things. We had to Amazon everything next day, delivery, boop boop boop.
The process was I stay overnight. Well, it's really both of us, but since Daddy had to go to work, I stayed. And it's normally 2 nights they want the parents to stay. The first night, baby is still in the section where all the babies are, and I'm in a room, and that's where I sleep, and I just come out and do her care and feed her and all that kind of stuff. And the second night, they bring her to the room that I'm staying in, and I do all the care, everything in that room with her. So since they saw me every day, I was there for literally 10 hours all the time. They're like, yeah, you don't need to do 2 days. We've seen you do all the care when you're here anyways, so we'll just keep you for the 1 day and the 1 night, and she'll be in the room with you for that 1 night. Oh my God.
Baby girl got some lungs on her.
I was by myself. She wasn't crying though. I was by myself, okay, and I was so overwhelmed. First night it was just her and I, and she woke up every 30 minutes. I was like, what? Like, we're just in a different room. Like, we're still in the hospital, girl. I don't get why she switched up so quick. Yeah, and I was obviously by myself, so I was like panicking at certain points, like, why are you waking up? I'm feeding you, you know, you're pooing, you're peeing, you're being fed, I'm holding you, but mommy's tired, okay, so we both need to get some sleep. But it was not happening, and then I had to wait till Daddy came home, not home, to the hospital after work, which is about what, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, afternoon, whatever. I was with her, and she was still feeding every 30 minutes because what they had a schedule in the hospital. They'll feed her every 3 hours, but when I took her, they told me feed her when she's hungry. You know, that there was no schedule. It's not, they don't want me to do every 3 hours. Just feed her when she's hungry. I did do her on breast on and off, just because she wasn't latching on as great as other babies, you know. They say that preemie babies do have a harder time latching onto the breast. So I did have a couple times where I would breastfeed her, but most of the time it was a bottle. We really wanted to do breastfeed all the way, but obviously that couldn't happen.
But I mean, you know, that whole experience was long as hell, but it is what it is. It happened, and they did really well between the 2 hospitals. They did really well taking care of her. They really do a great job here in Canada. Yeah, that's been our experience, NICU and having a premature baby and stuff, and you know, it was rough. It's hard to explain. Hopefully you guys never have to go through that, but if you do, just know that, you know, your baby will grow, and grow quick as hell, and smart. They say premature babies pretty smart. Like Albert Einstein was a preemie. So this one right here is gonna...
Alberta Einstein.
You know, we've obviously settled in now and stuff. That's why we can even get back on YouTube like this.
Yeah.
And we got a little setup. One day we'll walk you through our little setup, our little baby bachelor pad.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
But for now, that's it. That's a wrap. It's been cool getting back on YouTube and stuff, and hopefully you guys like our videos. hopefully we can figure out how to make it, you know, a little more entertaining with the baby stuff, you know. As a man, you know me, I really want to sign on to on YouTube and look on baby videos, you see me?
Okay. Like, subscribe, comment.
And see you the next time. Boom.
Alright,
Alright, Bubs, say bye.
say bye.
Say bye-bye.
Yeah, she's knocked out. She loves to hear mommy and daddy's voice. So she's sleeping.
Alright. Alright. That's a wrap. Time to go sleep. You love see yourself? Cut off the video.